Okay, loves, I hear you all love my focaccia bread, and so did my kids. We're gonna make a very plain one today, but before we begin, please do me a huge favor and click that subscribe button if you're watching this, and subscribe. It will mean the whole world to me. So focaccia bread is this beautiful Italian bread that is flat and fluffy. You could put all kinds of stuff on it, but today we're gonna make a very plain one because my kids are very picky and they don't eat anything on top of anything. We're gonna begin by making the yeast. I have a tablespoon of sugar here. It's okay, it's not a lot, and a packet of yeast. I'm gonna put this right here, and warm water. This is really nice warm water. If you can't drink it, you can put in there because it's gonna kill the yeast. It has to be very, very nice temperature that is comfortable and your yeast will survive. So I am going to measure everything. We'll put 1 cup of water here, again, very comfortable. And I'll put some of it in here and let the yeast and the sugar do its thing, and we'll come back to it in 5 minutes and we'll see this is gonna be so fluffy and alive, and that means that our bread is gonna be delicious and amazing. So let's come back to it in 5-10 minutes. We're back and it's been 5 minutes. Look how gorgeous this is. It means it is ready. Let's lose the ring. So we're going to start. I'm gonna use half cups, and we'll start with 1 cup of flour, and we'll add the yeast and the sugar water in here. Make sure you scrub your hands and that your hands are nice and clean. And then we're going to put some salt. Don't be afraid of salt because it's gonna be a lot of flour. You need salt, otherwise your bread's not gonna have any taste to it. And now, extra virgin olive oil is key. If you hate the taste of extra virgin olive oil, don't worry about it, use light olive oil. But let's add extra virgin olive oil. Okay, just like that. And give this all a mix. Give it a mix so it's nice and soft. And little by little, we're going to start adding. I don't want my dish to move, so I'm gonna put a cloth on it. Clean kitchen towel. There we go. Now, remember we had 1 cup of water. We're gonna add that water in here, and we're gonna add 2 more cups of flour. I just do like heaping cups, you see? And that was 1, and this is 2. So altogether, so far we have 3 cups of flour. Let's give it a mix. We want a supple, soft dough, and we're not gonna need this a lot. It does not need it. Another cup of water in here. And start adding it softly, slowly. Okay. Remember, we're gonna put 1 more cup of flour, but we don't wanna put everything all together. We just wanna work the dough slowly and not overwhelm it. We'll put the whole cup of water, 1 more cup, and now it's gonna be super soft, and that's where you start adding your 4th cup of flour. 4th cup of flour will give you a nice big bread, and you need a flat sheet for this to bake this bread. But don't rush, let's not get there yet. You're gonna get there slowly. Now, it looks like we'll need more water, just a little more water. Let's add 1 more cup of flour. We're not gonna do very heaping because we did that before. So that's 4 cups of flour, and we're almost there to get this beauty going. I need a nice big mixing bowl like this. I mean, you're making bread, right? You want to make everything very comfortable. All right, I'm almost there. Good. See, it's starting to come together. That's it. Gonna add a little more water because the dough is nice and soft, but I want it to be a little more hydrated for this bread. It's a very good, supple dough, and it needs to be hydrated. Good. That looks beautiful. Ooh. All right, almost done. Let's get it together. Let's put it all together just like that. Look how soft that dough is. It's gonna be such fluffy bread. Now, see? I didn't even do nothing. I didn't even like try too hard, just play around with it. Now, extra virgin olive oil. There we go. Cover it. Don't worry. You're gonna use this oil to bake it with anyway. But let this be like this so it keeps hydrating. Nice. Gonna wash my hands. Then we're gonna cover this, put the kitchen towel on it, and let it rest for an hour. In an hour we'll punch it down, and then we'll rest it 1 more hour, and then we'll put it on a baking sheet and rest it another 30 minutes before we bake it.
Cover the dough with plastic wrap and then with a clean kitchen towel and put it somewhere nice and warm for it to rest for an hour.
We're exactly at 1 hour on the dot. Wait till I show you this. Isn't this stunning? Wow, it's so soft, it's so tender, it's so beautiful, and we're not even done. Look at that gorgeousness. It just jiggles, it just moves, it's just, this is what you want, okay? We're gonna put it, okay, can you see what I'm doing? Just like that, okay? Just like that. Gonna go 1 more hour, and then we'll flatten it out and wait another 30 minutes, and we'll bake it at 450 for 25 minutes. So just wait for it. We're exactly at 2 hours. Wait till you see this beauty. Remember hour 1, we punched it down a little, and now you need a nice baking sheet this size and line it with parchment. This size. I don't know what size this is. It doesn't say. Well, a cookie baking sheet is what you need. Now, let's see. We'll put a little oil just so the bottom of the bread is nice and golden and super soft. Just very, very lightly, we're gonna do that. Beautiful. Let's loose the rings. And this beautiful dough goes right on the parchment. Wow, this dough is so cloudy, like pillow. And start stretching it now. Just start stretching the dough. Let's see, there's no oil on this. Just start stretching. It might give you a hard time in the beginning, but it's gonna stretch. Wow, so soft and pillowy and cloudy. It's absolutely stunning. Fix the corners like that. Now, good, right? You got your tray. Look how beautifully that moves. This is gonna rise for 30 minutes. So don't worry if it's too flat, it's gonna rise. And now it's all about rising. Now I'm gonna dip my fingers into the oil and make dimples like that. You don't wanna cut it okay too. It's gonna bind back. So don't worry, just make dimples like this. Make sure your hands are scrubbed throughout your baking process. Please, we don't want any accidents. We want to keep everything nice and clean. Look at those dimples. I am sorry I cannot zoom in or anything. It is a one-man show here. It's just me, one-woman show. Excuse me, Ellie. It is a one-woman show. Okay. Let's go. Good. You see? Gorgeous bread. Now, oil it very, very well. Go wash your hands. Come put the cover on, more silicone cover, the plastic wrap, and then wait 30 more minutes and we'll bake it at 450 for 25 minutes. Preheat the oven while this becomes rested and rises again. I promise we're almost at the finish line. And let's remove the tea towel. Oh my God, look how that has risen. I am one proud focaccia mama. Now I'm gonna sprinkle it with salt. Again, if you have like fancy salts and you like that stuff, go ahead. I am a simple salt kind of person. And I will buy the fancy salt. I've just never gotten a chance to look for it and buy it. All right. Final dimples. So fluffy, so beautiful. All right, let's go and bake this at 450 for exactly 25 minutes. Exactly 25 minutes on the dot. Woo! At 425. Let's go. Let's put it on the cooling rack. Should we? Should we? Why not? See if my fingers are not gonna burn. They're burning. Let me see. Let me do this. Now, if you made this and you don't try it, I'll be upset. Because all that effort and all that hard work, so much noise. You have to try a piece of your focaccia bread. The beauty of this bread smells incredible. I'm not gonna brush more oil on this because we don't need it. It's too much oil. There was enough oil in it. As it cools down and tomorrow it's gonna become a little oily. So you don't need to put more oil on it. If you want, go ahead and brush oil, more olive oil on top, but you don't need to. So you can cut it in strips to dip into oil, or you can cut it in squares to just make a little sandwich. I put cream cheese for my kids inside and they ate it for breakfast. So there we go, friends. That was my focaccia bread. Just hear the crunch, please. It's gonna soften up tomorrow. Worth every single effort.